So Tanner is doing, feeling-wise, much better than last night. We're still waiting on the Dr. Eltros to read the MRI results, but as far as like feeling, his emotions in a good spot. Obviously, we're putting him on the IL, but you know, just given the way he feels, we're in a better spot than we were last night. What that means, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, but just in general, more optimistic than you were kind of leaving Dr. King last night.
Yes.
Do you know enough about it to be confident it's not going to be like a season-ending thing?
I think, you know, once we get Dr. Eltros's kind of take on it, we'll obviously have more clarity. But, you know, just right now, just, you know, him talking to the training staff, we feel good about it. But that's just, again, that's better than we thought last night. But hopefully, you know, we get some good news from Dr. Eltrosh later today.
In the meantime, what does this mean just for the bullpen and the high leverage arms? Kind of, are guys you want to see step up, or how do you kind of have to fill the hole at Tanner?
Yeah, I think that certainly we obviously brought Alexis Diaz, so he'll be here, and he's kind of had some good ones, some not so good ones, but to get a good look at him up here, I think is going to be great. I'm excited to have him, and so I think as far as leverage, we'll kind of mix and match and see, you know, whatever the game presents and who's available that particular night. But yeah, there's some guys that are throwing the baseball well, and some guys that need to get better.
Yeah, already on the bullpen, like a lot of the guys you expected to be in there are kind of out and injured. How much of an extra blow is just to lose Tanner, the guy who's been healthy through all of it?
It's a blow. It's a big blow. You know, he's not throwing the baseball as well as he's going to be throwing the baseball, but just to have somebody that's there that takes the baseball has been huge. To pitch and leverage someone that's been there. So, but again, it creates opportunity for somebody else, and in this particular case, it's Diaz, and we'll see what we got. But yeah, I'm still hopeful that we get Tanner back at some point.
I don't know if it like changes your guys' priorities going to the deadline, but it sort of intensify it a little bit, just knowing that at least for the short term, he's not going to be part of the picture.
I think intensifying it is probably a fair word, given the uncertainty of the leverage guys that, you know, we don't have right now. But I do think that we've shown in the past that if there's a trade that needs to be made for a high leverage guy, we'll do that. We've had some good success of that. So, you know, the team, the guys are working hard and kind of trying to figure out what makes sense for the roster. So everything's in play.
Does that need feel as big as last year's need in the starting rotation was?
Yeah, I think so. I think just kind of looking at the guys that we lost and some of the guys that we expect coming back, Trinan and Kopech being one, but you know, until you get them back, you just don't know, and obviously we don't know where Gratterall's at. So just kind of the uncertainty, and I would say it's kind of similar to where we were at with the starting pitching last year.
Blake Snell has been here for a couple of days. What's the plan next?
He is going to pitch next on Saturday. I think it's this Saturday, 5-75 in OKC. And then, you know, once we get through that, then there'll be a real discussion on if he should join us or do another one.
What's your comfort level right now with putting Kirby in save situations?
I'm very confident. I think that the fastball's been good, consistent. The split has been the problem, and it's just not moving the way we'd like it to. But as far as my trust in him going out there to finish a game, I'm going to, especially given losing Tanner for the time being, and you know, with the guys we have, I have all the confidence that he's going to finish some games.
Last night was maybe a special situation since he had to come in, kind of emergency, but he has been giving up a lot of slug this year. Is the splitter being off kind of part of the reason?
Yeah, it is, and I think that if you look at his, you know, his success against left-handed hitters this year, the split is the cause. So I think that that's kind of the neutralizer pitch for left-hand hitters, and that's something that just hasn't been consistent.
I mean, that's his number one pitch. How bad is it when you don't have your number one pitch?
Well, we're seeing it in real time, how it is, when you've got one pitch essentially that you have a lot of confidence in, when you're a two-pitch pitcher. So I just talked to him even earlier today and worked on some flat ground stuff with the pitching guys, and says that it's moving the way he likes it to move, and he's a feel guy. So his track record, his compete, preparation, all that stuff, I just know that it's going to turn and he'll get that split where it needs to be again.
When you guys kind of look ahead to the deadline, like how much of the calculus is kind of still betting on the guys you have here kind of playing up to their track records and kind of where they've been in their careers and kind of look at where you might think that's great or where not?
Well, I think that on the offensive side, it's, with the guys that we have scuffling with the bat, those are essentially 4 or 5 trade pickups in itself. So that we're going to bet on the comeback, the performance of those guys. I think then you start to really think about the relief pitching, and some guys have track records, most of our guys don't. Getting somebody that can really take down right-hand hitters, I think, is something that everyone knows that we're looking at. So, but yeah, I mean, I think everything's, you're still just trying to get quality players, whether it's ultimately does become a position player, great. And if it's a reliever, great. But, like I said, Andrew, Gomer, they've been great at always trying to do things to make our club better.
He was adamant yesterday that he felt like something was clicking, kind of work he was doing pregame. With what you saw in his at-bats last night, of course, the double, are you feeling that he's really starting to kind of turn that corner and trying to get in the right direction?
I do. There was a friend of ours, a mutual friend, sent this meme, and I guess it unlocked something. So there's an overlay with him with the walk-off homer last year in the World Series, and so that kind of visual helped him kind of tap into something. And so I do. It's yesterday's batting practice really good. I thought the at-bats yesterday were really good. He was early for a change, versus being late, chasing. And then coming today, I see a lot of the same stuff as I saw yesterday in his work. So I feel pretty good about where he's at.
Especially on the hitting side, going to the deadline, you're making on guys' turns. Where's Conforto kind of fit in that bucket? How big are these 9 days for him for the deadline?
So Michael's interesting because when he does hit the ball hard, it seems like it's right at somebody, which was last night. So I've shown my confidence in him playing where I hit him in the order. So I don't know. I'm just going to kind of keep running him out there and expect him to be productive. So, and I hope that's where his head is at. But, for me, it's kind of the guys that we have and show confidence. And I believe in Michael. So I've had many times to, sit him, but I play him. And I think that, it's still in there.
Who will start in Boston this weekend?
I know Shohei's not going to. I think Clayton's going on Saturday. Who else won?
Emmett Kirschen May, I think.
Yeah, Emmett Kirschen May. There you go. Juan Dorado.
Ranking doctor officials.
So Shohei will not play in Fenway Park?
No. No, not that no.
I mean, Tyler tomorrow, how have you seen him? How's he look to you right now?
Tyler looks good. I like where his delivery's at. I like where his head is at. He's in a really good spot. I think that He's really focused, certainly very helpful having him back. And he just looks, there's a lot of clarity going on right now with Tyler. And I know that, you know, the last year there's been a lot of kind of uncertainty, but right now he's as kind of clear of mind as I've seen in a long time. So I feel really good where he's at.
That's, you're saying everybody seems to be on the same page now, or maybe it was a little bit.
Yeah, you know what, I think that, you know, when a guy is not healthy, when he's not right with his delivery, all that stuff bleeds into kind of not being on the same page. But I think that from the medical staff, the performance, the pitching guys, we're all kind of synced up right now, and I think his performance has shown that, which is great. Thanks, guys.